Hello dear students, I welcome you all for the very important video on CBCS pattern. We know very well that from last 2019, Savitribai Phule Pune University has implemented CBCS, that is choice based credit system, for most of the courses. One of them it is BSc. So many students from last few days requested me to create a video on CBCS pattern, that is choice based credit system of BSc, because student could not understand well what is actual CBSE is. Actually, I have created a video on CBCS pattern in last year. I will put the link of that video in this in the description box of this video also. In this video, we will concentrate on main features of choice based credit system in BSc, and many students, when they get their mark sheet, they could not understand what is actual percentage of their marks in mark list, because there are no marks given in the mark sheet. Everything is new for the students. In their mark sheet, they could only found the concepts or the points like grade points, grades, credit points, SGPA, CGPA. So students will literally they are confused about the mark sheet. They could not understand their mark list or mark sheet very well. So I thought to prepare such a video which will give an idea of what is actually grades are, what is actually grade points, what are credit points, what is actually SGPA is, what is CGPA is, and also we will discuss very important issue, how to calculate percentage of marks from the SGPA and CGPA. So everything we will discuss in this video, especially for CBCS pattern of BSc. So I request all the students to keenly understand everything, and if you have any questions, you can ask in discussion box also, or you can comment. If students are new on this channel, you can subscribe this channel so that you can get new videos on new ideas or new things implemented by Savitribai Phule Pune University. So before proceeding to how to calculate percentage, we should see what are the main features of CBCS for BSc. So we will discuss here. In CBCS pattern, many things are as like, or they are similar to 2013 pattern. So in CBCS 2019 pattern, as like 2013 pattern, for first year there will be 4 subjects. For second year you have to choose 3 subjects among the subjects of first year, or the subjects you choose in first year. In third year, only 1 subjects among the subjects of second year we have to choose. So you can say for first year there will be 4 subjects, for second year 3 subjects, and for third year only 1 subject. There will be 15 weeks of student teacher interaction. So in CBCS pattern there will be 15 weeks. So 15 weeks are given for student and teacher interactions. Of these 15 weeks, 12 weeks are for direct teaching. So for 12 weeks, teacher will directly teach to the students for the completion of their syllabus. And remaining 3 weeks, they are given for continuous assessment. It includes seminars, then tests, assignments, everything. So this includes continuous assessment. 3 weeks are given for continuous assessment. Each theory lecture time for FY, SY and TY is of 50 minutes. So theory lecture time, it will be of 50 minutes. Each practical session of FY is of 3 hours 15 minutes, that is 195 minutes. So for first year, 3 hours and 50 minutes are given for practical session, that is total 195 minutes. Each practical session time for SY and TY is of 4 hours 20 minutes. So here time is somewhat increased for SY and TY practical. It is about 260 minutes. Exam pattern, if you see, university assessment 70% and continuous internal assessment, it is 30%. So everything in detail I have given in the video of CBCS pattern, link of which I will share or I will put into the description box of this video. You can see and understand the CBCS very well by that video. In short, I am giving here exam pattern is like university assessment 70% and continuous and internal assessment it is of 30%. That is for BSc, 35 marks for theory examination and 15 marks for internal examination. Similar is about practical also. 35 marks for external, that is university practical examination, and 15 marks for internal. Next, internal assessment for internal exam. It can be done by Vivaos, projects, surveys, field visit, tutorials, assignment, group discussion, etc. So these are some features of CBCS. Now, main features of CBCS for BSc. There will be total 132 credits for BSc program. So 44 for first year, 44 credits for second year, and 44 credits for third year. So altogether there are 132 credits for BSc program. In addition to the compulsory 132 credits, students has to earn 8 additional credits from different activities. So 132 credits, they are based on the actual syllabus of the BSc, but apart from these 132 credits, student has to earn 8 additional credits. So total credits a student should get or he should earn in 3 years, they are 140 because 132 from their syllabus and 8 from additional. So there are different activities given, and among these different activities student has to earn 8 extra credits. So which are those activities we will see in next slide. The rules of ATKT are minimum number of credits required to take admission to second year of BSc is 31, that is 70% credit. Or for if any student he is passing FY with about 70% marks, that is with 31 credits he can get admission to SY. But any students, if he got credits below or less than 31, then he cannot get admission to the SYPC. And minimum credits required to take admission to third year of BSc are 44 credits. So any student, he should complete or he should pass BSc first year or to get admission to TY. So he has to earn 44 credits, that is 100% marks to be completed from FY BSc, and at least 22 credits from SYPSc. So for getting admission for TY, a student should get all 44 credits of FY and at least 22 credits from SY. So these are rules for ATKT. For the completion of degrees, students should earn 140 credits, as I have told you, 132 from their main syllabus and 8 from extra credits and from different activities. The CGPA will be calculated for such students on the basis of only 132 credits. So those student has to earn 140 credits. CGPA or their mark percentage, it will be calculated based on the basis of only 132 credits, means from the main syllabus credits of that students. Now we will see how can a student can get extra credit, that is 8 credit. So here it has been given that 9 groups have been given. Student can get extra 8 credits from any of these groups. So you can see first group, that is physical education at FY BSc semester first and physical education at FY BSc semester second. So this is compulsory for all the students of FY BA BCom BSc. So it is very compulsory. Student, they will definitely get these 2 credits from physical education. Now remaining 6 credits students can get from all these different groups. Group 2, sport presentation at college level, 1 credit. Sport representation at university state level, 2 credits. Now group 3, it is regarding National Social Service Scheme, NCC, NSS, NCC. Number of credits is given on the basis of the activity. Group 4, Avishkar participation, extension activity, Avishkar selection at university level, Avishkar winner at state level. You can get number of credits on the basis of level of your presentation. If you, any students, he win state level Avishkar competition, he can get 4 credits. If any student, he will win or he will be the winner of university level, then he will get 2 credits. Group 5, it is regarding research paper presentation at state level, national level, or research paper presentation at international level. So on the basis of level, they can get credits 1 or 2. 6th group, it is participation in summer school program, short-term course, not less than 1 week. He can get 3 credits. So such type of courses are going on into our country, and you can also attend such type of courses by online way also. Then group 7, it is scientific survey, societal survey. They will be given 2 credits. So any student, he can do scientific survey. For example, any student, he can do the survey of plants, survey of medicinal plants in their area. It will be the scientific survey, and they will get 2 credits. Next, group 8, it will be field visit, study tours, industrial visits, participation in curricular, co-curricular competitions. He can get 1 credit. So study tour, if any student visits any very important part of their syllabus, for example, botanical tour, botanical excursion tour, he can get 1 credit from that group. Now group 9, it is certification or online certificate courses, MOOC courses, career advancement courses up to 4 credit. So any student, they can register themselves for MOOC courses which are organized by UGC, NPTEL, etc. They can get about 4 credits out of this. So from all these categories, from all these groups, student can earn the extra 8 credit. So along with 132 credits, student has to get, or they have to earn 8 credit, and they can earn it these credits from all these groups. Group first, it is compulsory. Student, they definitely get credits from the group first. Now we will proceed to next slide. Now we will proceed to main part of this video, that is result analysis in CBCS, because most of students could not understand their mark list. So what is actually percentage to grade and grade point conversion, how any percentage it is related to a grade, or how any grade it is related to a grade point or percentage, we will discuss. So here you can see a table in which percentage to grade and grade point information it has been given. Serially, we can see here we have arranged grade letters in 9 different types of letters, If you see first, that is O, it is known as outstanding. So outstanding grade, it has 10 grade points and marks percentage will be 90 to 100%. So any students, if he is getting O grade, then he should understand that his percentage will be 90 to 100%. Actual percentage he can also calculate. We will see in next slides. Now any student he get A plus, it is known as excellent, and grade point for that it is 9, and marks percentage it will be 80 to 90%. Any student he will get A grade, it is known as very good, grade point for that it is 8, and percentage will be 70 to 79%. B plus grade, it is known as good, the grade point is 7, percentage will be 55 to 69 or in between 55 to 69. B grade, it is above average, and the grade point for that it is 6, and percentage is in between 50 to 54. If any student gets C grade, that is average grade, grade point for that it is 5, and the percentage for it is 45 to 49. If any student gets D grade, the grade point for that it is 4, and the percentage will be 40 to 44. Now any student it gets F, the grade point will be 0, and the percentage of marks it will be below 40. Any student he will be absent, then also grade point will be 0. So in this way, percentage and grade points are interrelated, and we can calculate the grade point from the grade or percentage from the grade, or we can calculate grade letter or grade from the percentage. So in this way, this is very important, you have to remember for the next calculations. Now in CBCS pattern, these two terms are very important, SGPA and CGPA. We will discuss one by one. First of all, we will see what is SGPA. So SGPA, it is nothing but the semester grade point average. It is the performance of a student in a semester. So SGPA, it is performance of a student in a semester. It is the weightage average of the grade point obtained in all courses, seminar and projects registered by the student during the semester. So this SGPA, it has been calculated, or it can be calculated by the grade points obtained by the student in that particular seminar, and these grade points he can get or obtain from courses, seminars, projects, etc. SGPA can be calculated by using following formula. So for the calculation of SGPA, a student can, or university, it uses this formula. So for the better understanding of a result, student should know the formula. So how actually SGPA, which is given on his or her mark list, it is calculated, student should get know. So SGPA, it is nothing but the summation of grade points earned into credits for each course and total credits for that particular course. So summation of grade points, how many grade points he got, and credits for each course, and it is divided by total credits. You can understand better in the next slide. For example, suppose in a given semester, a student has registered for 5 courses having credits C1, C2, C3, C4 and C5, and her grade points of those courses are G1, G2, G3, G4, G5 respectively. Then how can we calculate? You can see I have taken an example here. You can see this is SYBSc result of a student. Here you can see this is the semester third result, and this is semester fourth result. So up to here, environment awareness 23361 paper code or subject code, this is semester third, and from here 24131, it is semester 4th. So this student has got SGPA in third semester, that is 8.82, and in fourth semesters he or she get the SGPA, that is 8.64. So SGPA, as I have told you, SGPA is semester grade point average. So here you can see the student has got 8.82 and 8.64 credits for semester third and fourth respectively. Here you can see how this SGPA is calculated. Here you can see SGPA, it is C1 into G1. C1 is the number of credits a student got for course 1 and number of credits assigned for that particular course. So C1 into G1, C2 into G2, C3 into G3. Here you can see everything it has been given. Now 11 papers are given here, so that's why I have given last C1, C11, G11. Now here you can see this has been divided by total number of credits for that course. So for the SYBSc, total 44 credits have been given. So SGPA, it has been calculated like this, 194. So these are the sum of all grade points obtained by the students in all these semesters. So for third semester, a student got 194 grade points. 194. So you can make summation of these 16, 16, 18, 18, 18, 18, 18, 18, 20, 16 and last 18. So this is for semester number third. So here you can see 194, it is the sum of all these grade points. Now as per our formula, each course of SYBSc, here you can see credit assigned for each course, it is 2. So we can multiply 194 into 2 divided by total number of credits assigned for SYBSc. That is for semester first and semester second. And this is 44. Now here you can see, if you calculate this 194 into 2 divided by 44, you can get the answer 8.8181. So this is the answer. Now university rounds up it by rounding up this, the third semester SGPA, it will be 8.82, that is rounding up. Here you can see 8.8. Now this is the SGPA for third semester. Now SGPA for fourth semester. Now you can make sum of all these grade points of semester 4. So all these subjects grade points are given here. If you add all these or make summation of all these grade points, it would be 190. Again, all these courses are having 2 credits each. So 190 into 2 divided by 44, again total number of credits for the SYBSc. Now you can see here the answer will be 8.636363. So by rounding up fourth semester SGPA, it will be 8.64, that is rounding up. So you can see here the SGPA of the student, it is 8.64. So from this, it will be very clear that how the SGPA is calculated by university. So if you are getting or you can see SGPA given in here, it is calculated by using this equation. So each and every student, they has to understand it well. Now in the next part, we should know what is the relation between the grade letter and CGPA, SGPA. Before that, we have seen SGPA. Now what is CGPA? So CGPA, it is final result after completion of degree. So the course grade point average, CGPA means the course grade point average is the weightage or weighted average of the grade points obtained in all the courses of first semester to sixth semester. So for BSc, there will be 6 semesters. So it is weighted average of the grade points obtained in all the courses of first semester to sixth semester. The class shall be awarded to students on the basis of following table. So this table also very important for the better understanding of further slides. So you must remember this also. So if any student, he will get CGPA or SGPA 9.50 or more than 9.50, he will be treated as outstanding student. The grade of that student will be outstanding. If any student gets CGPA or SGPA 8.50 or more but less than 9.50, then he will be treated excellent and grade will be A plus. 7.50 or more but less than 8.50, he will be treated very good and grade will be A. 6.25 or more but less than 7.50, then his grade will be B plus, it is good. If any student gets 5.25 or more but less than 6.25, it is above average, he will get B plus. If any student gets 4.75 or more but less than 5.25, average will be C. And if any student gets 4.00 or more but less than 4.75, the grade will be D and he will be treated as pass student. So as in last slide, we have seen how to calculate SGPA or CGPA. When you get your CGPA, you can, by using this table, you can get class of your pass class, you are in outstanding class or you are in excellent class. So after calculation of SGPA, you can get know your grade by this table. Now we will proceed. This is also very important. You have to understand it and you have to remember it. So corresponding percentage calculation for the CGPA can be done by using following equations. So if you have to calculate percentage of marks by using SGPA or CGPA. Suppose any student of SYBSc, he get SGPA and CGPA, SGPA semester grade point average. From that semester grade point average, he or she can get the percentage of marks. Many students, they have asked me when they are going to fill their scholarship form, because in their scholarship form they have to fill percentage of marks, but percentage of marks they are not given in their mark sheet. So how to calculate percentage of marks by given SGPA, it is very important. So these are some equations given. Percentage of marks, how we can calculate this percentage of marks, we can calculate by using the grade and SGPA, CGPA of that student. These equations are given. In first equation, you can see if O grade it is awarded to a student, then equation will be 20 into SGPA or CGPA minus 100. Here you can only take SGPA or you can take whole CGPA. If A plus grade will be there, then 10 into SGPA or CGPA minus 5. If A grade, then 10 into SGPA, CGPA minus 5. If B plus grade is given, then 12 into SGPA, CGPA minus 20. If B grade, then 5 into SGPA, CGPA plus 23.75. If C grade, then 10 into SGPA or CGPA minus 2.50. If D grade, then 6.6 into SGPA or CGPA plus 13.6. So all these equations you have to remember. If you can't remember these, you can save it with you and you can further calculate percentage of marks on the basis of SGPA and grade you got into the on your mark sheet. So this is conversion of SGPA or grade to percentage. Now here some examples have been given. How can we do that? Obtain CGPA. Suppose any student, he obtain CGPA or SGPA, that is 10, then how can he calculate his percentage? See here, 20 into 10 minus 100 is equal to 100. So in this way he can calculate, because here you can see grade is A plus, then he has got 100% marks. Then if he got 9.75 CGPA, then 20 into 9.75 minus 100, 95%. 9.5, if SGPA or CGPA is 9.5, 20 into 9.5 minus 100, 90. So in this way you can calculate your percentage by using this equation, these equations. So all these equations are very important to remember. So see here, these equations are very important. So on the basis of grade and SGPA, you can calculate percentage in this way. So here you can see CGPA, it has been given, equation is given, these are some examples given. This is obtained CGPA, we have to keep this value at the place of SGPA and CGPA, and you can get answer in percentage. So when you get percentage 100%, you will get O grade. If you will get 95%, then also O grade. If you get 90%, you will get O grade. 85% A plus, 75% A, 64% B plus, 60.04 B plus, 55% B plus. So in this way you can calculate the percentage and grade by using SGPA. So as I have told, everything is interlinked. So SGPA or CGPA, it is linked with grade points, it is again linked with grades, again it is linked with percentage. So in this way everything it is interlinked with each other. Now here we can see how actually percentage can be calculated. So here this is the result of a student of first year choice based credit system BSc 2019 pattern. So this result has been displayed or declared by university in April 2020. So I have take this result for example or for the better understanding of students how we can calculate percentage by using SGPA. So here you can see the SGPA, it is clearly given. A student, he has got the SGPA, that is 7.068 for first semester. Now these students want to know how actually percentage of marks he get, how many marks he get in the in this examination, because here you can see in this result credits are given, grade is given, grade points are given, credit points are given. Now he cannot know or he cannot understand the marks he get. So how from this result he can calculate percentage, we will see. Now SGPA he got in first semester, it is 7.068. Now students want to know her percentage for first semester. She should follow following steps. So which steps he should follow or he follow? First, in the first step, grade should be calculated by using SGPA. So in the first step, the student should found the grade on the basis of SGPA. Now in this case SGPA is 7.068, hence grade will be B plus. How? Because in last slides we have already seen Here you can see the grade is 7.068. If grade is 7.068, here you can see 6.25 or more but less than 7.50. So our grade is 7.0. So it will come under B plus. So here you can see this is given here. So you can see the grade is 7.068. It will come under B plus. So we know that now we know SGPA as well as grade of the student. So 7.068 it is SGPA and B plus it is the grade. Now for B plus grade the equation would be, now you can see equation B plus grade equation will be 12 into SGPA or CGPA minus 20. So we already know the grade, so that we can see the equation 12 into SGPA minus 20. So here you can see 12 into CGPA or SGPA minus 20. Now we know 12 into our SGPA, it is 7.068 minus 20. If you multiply this, answer will be 84.81 minus 20. The percentage will be 64.81. So first semester percentage of the student will be 64.81%. So on the basis of SGPA, first we calculated or we find our grade, and by using that grade we found equation, and from that equation we have calculated the percentage of the student. So for this SGPA the percentage will be 64.81%. Now for the same students, this is the SGPA of second semester. So this is the result of same student of semester second, FY BSc semester second. Now in this semester, the you can see SGPA it is 8.136. So this student of or this student, he want to know the percentage of second semester. Now he want to know percentage of second semester. So as usual we can first of all find out the grade. So grade we can calculate as per the given table. So now the SGPA is 8.136, hence grade will be A. That is very good. So how you can see 8.136. 8.136. So here you can see 7.50 or more but less than 8.50. So our grade is 8.1, so it will come under very good. Now see here, our SGPA it is 8.136, hence grade will be A grade. So we get no grade is A. Now for the grade A, equation would be, we know very well here, you for A grade equation will be 10 into SGPA CGPA minus 5. So in here you can keep these values in this equation. 10 into 8.136 minus 5, 81.36 minus 5, the percentage will be 76.36%. So for this SGPA 8.136% should be 76.36%. So in this way, a student by using his SGPA or CGPA can calculate percentage of his both semesters or any semester. Now I have lastly taken an example of second year student result. So for his semester he got it is the result of third semester SY BSc. So this is the result of a student. So here you can see clearly given for that semester third of SY BSc, a student got 8.82 SGPA. Now by using this value we can calculate his percentage. Now here you can see in the first step, we have to know grade of the student by using SGPA. Now SGPA is 8.82, hence grade will be A plus. Excellent. How we can see 8.82. So here you can see 8.82. So it will come under excellent. 8.50 to 9.50. Our is 8.2. Sorry, 8.8. Our is 8.8. So it will come under excellent. So we got no, the grade will be A plus. So here you can see grade will be A plus. Student got A plus grade, because here also you can see in each and every subject he got A plus, O grade, etc. So his entire grade will be A plus. Now if A plus is the grade, the equation will be, we know here, if grade is A plus, equation will be 10 into SGPA or CGPA minus 5. Now our SGPA, it is 8.82, so we can keep this value here, 10 into 8.82 minus 5, so it will come 88.2 minus 5, so the entire answer will be 83.2. So a student got 83.2% in her semester number 3rd of SYBSc. So in this way we can calculate our percentage by using SGPA. Also we can find out the grade on the basis of SGPA. So this is actually, in first step we already seen how we can calculate SGPA. Then we have seen what is interrelationship between grade point and the percentage. Then how we can calculate SGPA, CGPA, and by given SGPA, CGPA, how can we calculate the percentage of marks. So in this way you can calculate your percentage. So if you like this video, you can you can comment. If you have any problem, you can share this video with your students for better understanding of calculation in choice based credit system. And if you are new on this channel, you have to subscribe this channel, because you will get new updates about such particular calculations or new things about university. Thanks for your attention.